get pregnant or not? What do you think, Teddy? What if it's not or I'm getting like super like crazy about it? Oh my god. Yeah, Teddy.
What happens when it is?
I don't know. You tell me. It's on the fourth one. Hey guys. So that is a baby. This video, as you can see, is going to be about how I hid my pregnancy for about 6 months and really didn't tell anybody. It is probably gonna get personal. I probably might cry because of my pregnancy hormones, but I really want to give you an honest truth on how it was for me. So let's go ahead and get started. So Teddy was 5 to 6 months old, I believe, and I had missed my period for a while. I hadn't started my period for like about 2 months, going on 3 months, and I had thought, okay, maybe I'm not getting it because I'm still breastfeeding and that's kind of messing up my cycle. So I remember talking into it with my suegra, my mother-in-law, and she was just like, well, just, you know, just take a pregnancy test to make sure. So I was just like, oh yeah, kind of threw it under the rug. And then when I got home, I was like, maybe I should take a pregnancy test. We still had some home pregnancy tests, some home test pregnancies at home. We still had some from the previous pregnancy with Theodore. So I was like, I'll just wait until Franklin gets off of work to take it. My husband got home and like I had spoke to him about it and he was like, okay, well, let's take a test. He was like, I don't think you're pregnant. Sorry guys, I'm trying to fix it. He was like, I don't think you're pregnant. He was like in denial and I was just like, okay. So I actually have a little clip that y'all seen in the beginning, and that was my reaction. Even though I was like 85% sure that I was pregnant, I was still so shocked because it hit me and was like, you're pregnant. And it hit me was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, I just had a baby and I'm pregnant again. And I think that's why in the video I was like, oh my gosh, I was in denial, guys. So that happened. My husband stopped the video and we went to the room and we were talking. We were discussing about it. Because we hadn't been open to the fact that we just had Teddy. We lived in an apartment. Then we lived into an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment. And yeah, it was okay for my husband, our cats, and Teddy. It was like, yeah, it fit us. You know, we were still a little bit packed, but it fit us. And we were talking about that, like, oh my gosh, we're pregnant again. Like, we're gonna have to get a bigger apartment or a house. And, you know, it was open to discussion on whether or not we were going to keep the baby. And I know this is a really sensitive topic for certain people. So, you know, if you don't want to hear this, you know, go ahead and leave. If you're more than free to leave, you know, I really don't want to hear any negativity about it because I want to be open with this with other women. So that way, my cat just jumped onto the table. I want to be open, you know. This is something that shouldn't be a very sensitive topic, but it is, especially in this society. Me and my husband were discussing whether or not we were going to keep this baby or not, and we kind of like a little bit decided that we weren't going to keep it, but you know, I was still like sad about it. I was just like, okay, we're not going to keep it. Like, oh my gosh, like what, like I guess I had to have like a miscarriage. Like I was thinking about that, and you know, it was kind of like getting to me. I was kind of like mad. Like I would kind of take it out on like my husband. I was very like sensitive. I was kind of like depressed a little bit, and I was like, at that time I really wasn't talking to my sister, and she lives in the same area I live in. And I had called her and told her if I can come over, and she knew something was wrong because I told her if I could come over, and she was like, yeah, you can come over. I had went over and had discussed it with her. The thing was is that she has 2 kids, but she wants to try for a third one. So she was kind of more like, you know, I want you to have it, or like, I don't know. She was there for me, and I love her for that. But I felt like she was kind of sugarcoating it, and like I went over for advice. Sorry guys, he woke up. This is Theodore. I know you haven't seen him in a while. He was taking his nap. So I probably had to make this even more shorter. So I had went over, she was just kind of sugarcoating it. She really wasn't giving me the advice that I needed, my sister. So I called my mom. And my mom lives in Dallas. So originally we're all from Dallas, but we ended up moving, like kind of like separating a little bit. So me and my sister came over here, my mom stayed over there. And I called her and I had let her know I was pregnant again, and she reacted completely different from what I thought that she was. I thought that she was going to be upset. I thought that she was going to yell at me, but she was very supportive. I told her I was pregnant again, and she was just like, really? And I was just like, yeah. I was like, but I don't know what to do. And she was like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna keep it. And she was like, what do you mean you're gonna have like a miscarriage? And I was like, yeah. And she kind of got quiet, and she was just like, look, I'm only gonna tell you this because I know how you are, and I know how you react to things. She said, I know from experience that you won't be able to have a miscarriage. She's like, just because you won't be able to have time to heal from it, from you having anxiety and, you know, depression, going through depression, and, you know, you have all these things, you won't be able to handle it. And she was like, and you have a son, you have a kid that you need to take care of, and your husband and yourself that you need to take care of. You don't have time to crawl in a corner and cry about it. You won't have time to like process it. And even if you go with it, you know, it's always going to be in the back of your mind that you did that, you know, and it could be a positive thing that you did it, and it could be a negative thing that you did it. And I was just like, wow, like it hit me, and I was like, you're so right. Like I did not think of that. I did not think of my own mental health wise. I did not think of that. Like I had already made an appointment at Planet Parenthood, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like you're so right, mom. And I was crying on the phone with her. I was very emotional about it, and she was there for me, and I loved her for that. So I had talked to my husband. I decided that I actually was going to keep the baby, and you know, whether he wanted to be in the baby's life or not, and he like cut me off right there. It's like, there's no way that I won't be in this baby's life. Like I am going to be in this baby's life. Expect me to be in it because that's my kid. You're my wife, you know. And he was just like, we're gonna do whatever we can, and he was supportive, and I love that. So during that process, I was like, okay, well, I'm pregnant. Now, what am I going to do now? And my decision was hide it from social media, hide it from pretty much anybody else that you can other than your mom and your sister, because you already told them. And part of that was because I had experienced something negative about this pregnancy. I started to show very early in this pregnancy, and I guess that's normal, especially if it's your second pregnancy or even your third pregnancy. You show faster, your stomach pops out more, and I didn't get a chance to basically hide it. So anybody that knew me or that I seen on daily basis found out I was pregnant. And or that I even told, I went ahead and told my best friend, because my best friend is my best friend. Like, she comes over every week, and I wanted to tell her. And you know, she was very happy for me. She was emotional about it, so I love her for that. But it was whenever I would go to the stores, and people would just look at me and like look at me kind of like weird, or like, wow, or like, you're pregnant again and you have a baby that's on your hip that's not even walking yet. And you know, I would feel that. Or like, I would walk into stores and I would feel like all eyes are on me because I'm pregnant and I have another baby. And maybe it wasn't like that, but that's how I felt. And I would always feel that way. And it was to the point where I didn't really want to go out. I didn't want to like socialize with people. And it was also one time when I went to church that I had experienced something in church that I thought that I would never. But and I love my church, guys. Even though I experienced this with somebody at church that is actually a member at the church, even though I experienced that way, I still attend to that church, because even though they made me feel like bad, it wasn't, you know, it didn't take upon me that, okay, like, I'm never coming back to this church. Like, no, it was more like, you said this to me, so I'm really gonna stay away from you. I don't like you, you know, that you said that. Because I had passed by her at church. It was like a church service on Saturday afternoon, and you know, I was taking Theodore to Kids Live, baby. I was taking Theodore to Kids Live, and I had a long sweater on, and it was covering my stomach, and also I had Teddy, so you couldn't really see my stomach. She saw Teddy, she thought that he was cute, and I was like, oh yeah, thank you, my child's cute. And then I had came back, I had did my part as a member of the church, you know, was like saying hi to people, welcoming people. And then, you know, service started. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go in service. And she had saw me again, and she was talking to the same person I was talking to, and she saw my stomach, and she looked directly at my stomach. I literally felt her eyes on my stomach, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant again? And she was like looking at the lady and looking at me like amazed and like, wow, like, oh my gosh. And I was just like, yes, is that okay? Just like, I feel so bad for your organs. Like, your organs must hate you that, you know, that you're having another baby. You know, you just got your body back. She was like saying all this stuff to me, and I was looking at her like, excuse me, like, my head, I was like, am I hearing this right? Like, is she really telling me this in church? And I kind of like was kind of getting offensive. Like, I was like, excuse me? And I kind of had to like reassure myself, like, Caitlin, you're in church. You can't make a scene at church. You know, she's in the wrong. Just go inside the service, go. And I was just like, I excused myself. I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and go inside the service. And you know, I left her there, and I think she noticed that I took it offensive, because it was wrong. She shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't even have gone into detail about that, and she did. And you know, now I don't even speak to her. I see her, and I think she knows that like I took it offensive, so she kind of tries to be nice to me, but I'm just like, look, I already saw your true colors. And you know, I'll say hi to you, I'll smile at you. I'm not gonna be obviously rude to you, especially at church. But other than that, I'm not gonna try to communicate with you. I'm not trying to be buddy. I'm not gonna be fake, you know. And that was that. So that kind of brought me down even more in the pregnancy, because I was just like, oh my gosh, like, now I definitely don't want to post it on social media that I'm pregnant, because like, if she reacted to that, then I don't know how everybody else is going to react to it. And I don't want that negativity. Like, it shut me down so bad that I didn't even want to go to church. I didn't even want to go to church because I didn't want to see her again, or I didn't want to like feel that negativity. I was already 5 months pregnant whenever my church through this women conference. type of thing. It was only for women to attend, and it was like a church service. It was like a two-day type of thing, and that is what helped me announce my pregnancy. That is what helped me bring me back to myself, because I had sat with a couple of other women and I had told them about my experience, told them my experience with Teddy through my pregnancy and now with this pregnancy, and they reassured me that like, you shouldn't feel that way. Like, no woman is supposed to feel like they getting pregnant is something wrong, like something bad that they did. Like, they told me like, you're a woman, like you're a grown woman, you are married, you have your own house, you pay your own bills. Why should you shy away that you're pregnant? Why should you hide the fact that you're pregnant? Like, even if you're not married, even if you're, live with your parents, being pregnant is a blessing. Being pregnant is such a good thing. Like, women out there have trouble getting pregnant. Women out there can't get pregnant, or like, and it's so hard for them. And here you are, you have a blessing, and like, you shouldn't feel that way. So I was like, you're so right. And then the woman that I was talking to, she's a doula. So she was like, gave me her card. She's like, if you ever need anything, call me. Like, if you have any questions. Sorry guys. She's like, if you have any questions about this pregnancy, call me. Excuse me. And she also gave me her husband card and was like, he's a photographer. She's like, schedule an appointment, schedule a maternity appointment, a photo shoot, and I promise you, it would make you feel that great experience of being pregnant. It would make you feel so beautiful. It will make you, she was saying all these good things, and I was like, you're right. Like, I should do a maternity photo shoot, because I didn't do it with him, but I was happy with my pregnancy with him. I was extremely happy. And with this one, I was like, I don't even acknowledge that I'm pregnant. I forget that I'm pregnant. I wasn't keeping up with like my pregnancy, how many months I am. A week after the women's conference, just recently, I had announced that on social media that I'm pregnant. I didn't want to announce it in a video. I just did like a little YouTube, not a YouTube video, a Snapchat video, and posted it on everything. And that's not really how I wanted to do it. I wanted to post a picture of me, my husband, and Teddy. But I'll just do that to announce the gender reveal. Everyone that, if you're pregnant and if you're hiding it, that is totally your option. Like, what's best. Sorry guys. What's best for your mental health. If you need to take time away from social media, if you need to just hide it, it's all up to you. You have every right to do that. You have every right to experience whether if you want to have an abortion, whether if you want to keep it. Like, nobody should force you. It's your body. Like, it's your decision. Talk about it before you do it. Talk to your therapist, talk to your mother, talk to your sister, talk to whoever's there. Talk to them before, you do it. Because, especially like your parents, they know you better than everybody else. They probably even know you better than yourself. And, that could help a lot. And that did help out with me. So that's that. Teddy, say bye. Dile bye. Or dile bravo, bravo, bravo. Dile bravo, bravo, bravo. Bye, guys.